Have you ever seen a compactor roller at work and suddenly started to feel all the vibration through your body, which makes you wonder how it's possible that a single machine can shake everything around it so powerfully? But even more interesting, what's inside that drum? What element creates the vibration, and how does it work? Well, don't worry, because in this video we're going to solve that big mystery while also covering other systems related to the vibratory drum that are necessary for the optimal functioning of a compactor roller. Let's begin with the traction system. These machines have to face extreme conditions like loose soils, steep slopes, and long working hours, and they do all that without losing efficiency. When we talk about traction, we're referring to the powertrain. This is the system responsible for transmitting power from the engine to the wheels so the machine can move. But how is this achieved? Here's something interesting, and pay close attention. Compactor rollers don't have a traditional transmission. That's right, there are no gears transmitting power like in a conventional vehicle. So how does the machine move without gears? There's only one answer. It's all hydraulic. The diesel engine is directly coupled to a set of hydraulic pumps, and these pumps' fluid is used to power hydraulic motors located at the front and rear of the machine. This fluid-powered transmission system is known as a hydrostatic system, and it's a closed-loop circuit between pump and motor, meaning it doesn't connect directly to the hydraulic tank. The traction system of a compactor roller has a dual variable displacement hydraulic pump system. One pump sends hydraulic fluid to the rear drive axle, and the other to the motor that drives the vibratory drum. This type of drive system gives the machine excellent slope climbing ability and precise control, as well as a wide speed range, thanks to the variable volume displacement of the hydraulic pumps. Now let's talk about the most anticipated part, the vibration system. Let's look at the components the machine uses to transmit energy directly to the ground and achieve uniform and efficient compaction. Modern compactor rollers feature a sealed vibration system that delivers superior compaction force. Inside this drum, which dominates the front of the machine, are two sealed eccentric counterweights that rotate thanks to a hydraulic motor mounted on one side of the drum. These eccentric counterweights have steel ball bearings inside. That's right, tiny moving spheres. What's fascinating is that they arrange themselves inside a hollow chamber depending on the rotation direction, which results in two different types of vibration, high amplitude and low amplitude. The vibration occurs because the center of gravity of the counterweights doesn't align with their axis, since the steel balls inside shift to one side. This vibration is what breaks up soil particles and rearranges them, eliminating voids and creating a solid base. The high dynamic rotating force helps achieve higher density in fewer passes. A big advantage of using sealed eccentric systems is that they don't jam like the older mechanical rotating weight systems, which had many problems. Instead, this modern system is more reliable, quieter during starts and stops, and has a longer service life, since the counterweights don't collide or produce metal fragments that could contaminate the lubrication system. What's most fascinating is that these vibrations aren't random. Their frequency and amplitude can be adjusted based on compaction needs. Damping system. During compaction, rollers generate a large amount of impact force, which is transferred through the drum to the ground. That's why an elastic element is needed to absorb these forces. The solution? Rubber dampers. These rubber shock absorbers allow the drum to float slightly over the vibrations, maintaining compaction efficiency and minimizing structural fatigue in the machine. They help protect critical roller components from potential damage due to constant stress. You can find these rubber dampers on each side of the drum. These are key components that reduce impact and increase the machine's durability during compaction. Drum cooling system. Let's now take a look at the drum cooling system. During operation, especially when using high amplitude and high frequency vibration, the drum can get extremely hot due to constant friction with the compacted material or when working with hot asphalt. It's normal for it to heat up, but the problem is when it gets too hot. So how is this solved? This system uses a closed-loop oil circuit that circulates inside the drum. As the oil heats up, it cools down again through the drum walls while the machine moves, acting as a heat exchanger. This ensures the internal components don't overheat and protects the bearings and hydraulic seals inside the roller drum. Brake system. If you've made it this far, congratulations! Now we'll look at an additional feature, the braking system, which is very different from other machines. Pay close attention. Like any equipment, this roller has two types of brakes, a service brake and a parking brake. But what's curious is that these are very different from conventional systems, especially the one we'll explain now. There's no brake pedal for the service brake. Instead, the machine brakes by simply placing the joystick in neutral. Here's how it works. During operation, the hydraulic circuit constantly circulates oil between the motor and pump. But what happens if the oil supply suddenly stops? That's right, you've just discovered the service brake. Here's what happens. The machine is hydraulically braked. No oil flow equals no movement. When the joystick returns to the neutral position, the pump's displacement is adjusted to 0 and the machine brakes hydraulically. Now let's check out the parking brake, which has a brilliant design. Each hydraulic motor, both for the drum and the rear axle, has a set of multi-disc brakes that are constantly pressed by springs. These are only released when pressurized hydraulic fluid is applied, making them very safe. There's also a button in the cabin to manually engage or disengage the parking brake. And now you know. The next time you see a compactor roller in action, you'll understand what's happening inside and you'll even be able to explain it to others. See you next time.